Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. Today we'll be unboxing a group of video games all freshly graded and back from WATA. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, or you're keeping track, these are the games that we highlighted in a video we posted on April 5th. We went through every single game individually. I pointed out any condition issues I saw with the box itself or with the seal, and I gave you my opinion of the grade I thought WATA was going to give us. So we got the games back. There were 13 in that submission. We got 9 back graded. 4 came back in a separate box. They were rejected. But we are only going to focus on the 9 that were graded. I will discuss those other 4 here a little bit later on. But we do have 9 games back, super rare Atari games. Very interested to see how close I was with my grade assessment. I do have the notes here that I took from the first video, so we'll see how close I got. So let's go ahead and cut into this box and see what we have. Very excited to see how close I was because we had some really cool games in this group. I think this is the first submission that we've actually received back from WATA since they moved to California, so packaging is a little bit different. WATA used to use a lot more peanuts, and they used to use a separator in the box, so let's see how these are packaged. Packaging seems pretty stable here. Alright, let's see what we have. There's 9 games here that were graded. It looks like all 9 of them are there. So let's go ahead and get started with our first game here. Alright. Our first game. Cubert for the Atari 2600. This is an 8.5 NS. There was no cellophane seal on this particular game. What did I say what I was going to get for this? Cubert. An 8.5 is not what I thought I was going to get. I thought I was going to get at least a 9.0 or 9.2 on this. So they definitely saw something here that I did not see. I guess there is a little crushing here on the back that's a little easier to see in the case here. But, you know, this game looks nice. Oh, there's crushing here on top too. So, okay. I'll go with an 8.5 on this. I thought it looked a little nicer. But here in the case, it kind of highlights a couple of those flaws. So, 8.5 on this. I was only half a point off, I guess, but still a great game to have in the silver box. You know, a lot of the Cubert games for the Atari 2600 are in that burgundy red box, so to get a silver box version, much more scarce. All right, oh, now this one here is a rare game. Here we have Rubiks Cube. Now, a lot of you guys might know this box art. I mentioned this in the other video that I posted on April 5th. This is the same box art they used for the Atari Video Cube, but this is the Rubiks Cube branded version. This here is a 7.0A+. What did I say we were going to get for this? Oh, I said a 5.0 to a 6.5. So this one here, they graded much higher than I thought. There is some crushing here on the front. You can see the crushing here all the way on the bottom and the side, and there's some crushing on the back a little bit. So 7.0 on this, super happy with that because like I said, we've only ever seen one copy of this sealed. This is the copy. This game does not come up, the Rubiks Cube branded version does not come up on the market ever. This, like I said, only copy we've ever seen, so we snagged it as fast as we could. 7.0A+, 5.0 to a 6.5. So definitely happy with that grade. That is that's great. That's much better than I thought we were going to get. That game just was not pretty to me, but 7.0 is, you know, we'll go with that. All right, game number 3. Here we have Pigs in Space. This is a 7.0A. We did not get an A+ on this for some reason, but 7.0, this is a pretty solid grade. Like I said, I don't remember this game being that nice a condition. I actually said a 7.0, so I was right on this particular one. I did say an A++ on the seal. I got an A on it. They saw something on the seal I did not see. There's crushing here on the back. Little minor, you know, bowing in on the bottom. So this game here, like I said, is 7.0. That's what I thought it was going to be. So I hit that one right on the head. This one here wasn't in great condition, but solid mid-grade game for a title you don't see very often. And like I mentioned before in the other video, this title here, people are always after these Muppets titles. This one here, one of the hottest of the Muppets titles for the Atari 2600. So this is a title that you want to pick up if you do see it in good condition. 7.0 is probably as low as you want to go on that. All right. Sorcerer's Apprentice. If I can get it out of the bag. Here we go. Here we go. Sorcerer's Apprentice. Now what we have here, a 7.5A. What'd I say? I said an 8.0. Missed it by a half a point. So they think this one is a little worse than I did. In the WATA case here, you can definitely, it does a good job of highlighting some of the problems with these boxes. You can see a big wave on the bottom and a big wave on the front. So probably does belong in the 7 range. So 7.5 is okay for that. Nice mid-grade title. And like I said, this one here is one people are always after. Disney titles, people love them. Huge collector base for Disney titles of anything, whether it's video games, movies, toys, comic books, whatever. People love the Disney brand. They love the Disney characters. This is one. If you do see this on the market, grab this one. People do love the Sorcerer's Apprentice. 7.5A. Pretty happy with that. Wish the first digit was an 8, but I think it's probably fairly graded. All right. And one of my personal favorite games, Kaboom. This is an 8.5A. What did I say for this one? I said an 8.0. I'm a half a point off in the wrong direction. They actually gave me a little bit higher grade than I thought I was going to get on this one. All right. That is nice. And here they did designate the seal as a 3-sided seal. The 3-sided seam was the issue of contention with those other 4 games that didn't grade. Now, in their database, they didn't have those other 4 titles as a 3-sided seam. They only had a V overlap seam. But I did some spectral analysis on that and some refraction analysis. That seal is actually from the time period of those games, the time the games were actually created. So in my opinion, those seals are authentic, but since they did not have them in their database, they couldn't grade them as authentic seals. So they sent them all back to me. I am going to send them off to VGA. Have VGA take a look at them, because I believe those seals to be authentic. This is a 3-sided seal. This is typically a V overlap seam, but they had this particular seal variant in their database. Those other titles, they did not have the seal variant. Let me see what titles they actually kicked out here. They kicked out Towering Inferno, Space Jockey, 3D Tic-Tac-Toe, and Human Cannonball. And all those games came from the same collector that we bought quite a few of these other games from. So I do not believe they were counterfeit. And you also have to remember, back in the 80s, when these games were coming out, that the machine to actually seal these games, incredibly expensive. That was new technology back then. So to actually buy the equipment to put a seal around a video game, very expensive undertaking for a small shop or for any retailer. And these were games that were unopened. WATA actually did certify that those games looked like they were unopened, but they had a seal that they did not have in their database. So I don't think any store out there was going to buy a machine to put a seal, a cellophane seal on a game that they just got from the distributor that was already factory sealed before they put it on their shelf. So like I said, in our opinion, those seals are authentic. We are going to send them to VGA, see what they think, but I just thought it was interesting that on this particular game, they did designate a 3-sided seam. Typically, it's a V overlap seam on these. So that's what happened to our other 4 games, why they got kicked out. But so far, we're doing pretty good on these. The grades I thought we were going to get out of them. All right, Taz. Once again, very tough title for 2600. A lot more common for the later Atari systems, but 2600, Taz is pretty scarce. So we have a 9.2A. What did I say we're going to get out of this one? I said an 8.5 to 9. So once again, I was actually incorrect on the wrong side. You know, this box actually does look pretty good. I don't know what I was seeing on this. There's a ding on the side here. A ding on the back. But you know, this actually looks a little bit better now that I'm looking at it than it did before I sent it in. So this one here, 9.2, that's a great grade to have on this. I don't think we ever seen one of these in our inventory here above a 9.0. Super happy with that one. An 8.5, huh? All right, well, looks like I've only hit one on the head. I've been half a point off on most of them, one way or the other. What do we have here? All right. KoolAid Man. Once again, tough title for 2600. These M Network games, some of these titles for the M Network, very scarce. KoolAid Man being one of them. So a 8.0A. I said a 9.2. I thought this box looked much better. Let me take a look at this. 8.0. That's a big difference. You know, I still don't see anything wrong with this box. This is one that we may send back in for reevaluation. I don't really agree with that. This here looks like a 9.0 at least to us. I don't see anything wrong with this box. Maybe they see something I do not, but I'm staring at it and I do not see anything. So we might send this back for evaluation, because this one here, 8.0, I think is too low on this. This looks like a nice high. There is a teeny bit of crush here, a teeny crease, but I mean, it's negligible. Maybe an 8.5 at the lowest, but I don't really agree with that. I said an 8.5 to 9.0. 8.0 seems a little low. Oh, wait, sorry. I said a 9.2. I was looking at the wrong one. I said a 9.2 on this, so an 8.0, in my opinion, is too low. We'll send this back. We typically put together the games we want to send in for reevaluation. We put it in a big box. Once the box gets full, we'll send it in, so we might not have that back for a while, but I do want to have them look at that one again. I don't think that's accurate. All right. Next to last game here. What do we have here? Dodge 'em. This is a 8.5 NS. What I say? I said an 8.0 or 7.5 to 8.0. So this is actually, once again, I was being more critical than they are on this particular title. This here is a nice looking box. 8.5 is nice on this game. Once again, this is a little tough. These solid color boxes like this, especially from 78, this is one of the early releases. These are very tough to find in good condition. These are usually beat up like 5.0 or lower. So anything above an 8.0 on these is pretty good to add to your collection. 8.5, we're pretty happy with that. Dodge 'em as a game, like I said, you don't see this one very often. All right, our last game here. Bowling. Bowling. Nice bright blue box. What do we have here? 7.5 B+. Oh, what'd I say? I said a 7.0 B+. So actually, once again, I was a half a point under. They actually gave me a 7.5. They thought this was a half point better. So now I know how to kind of readjust my grading. I don't need to be as critical. I was only really off on the one there, the KoolAid Man. Everything else, I was pretty much right on. It seemed like I was harsher on the grades than they were. Anyway, this one here, I pointed this out in the video that we posted on April 5th. There was a huge snag in the seal. We didn't see this until that video, actually, when I was about to send these into WATA. So I went ahead and sent it anyway. I knew it was going to get a B+ seal, and B+ seal it got. So not happy with the B+ seal. People don't typically like to pick those games up, you know. But once again, bowling is one of those titles you don't see that often, especially in 7.0 or higher, and this is 7.5. This is a game, once again, wasn't kept very nice. People didn't really collect these sports games back then, so they didn't keep these nice. They played them, threw them away, threw the boxes away. So to have a sealed one, even a 7.5 B+ is okay. Like I said, I would have preferred that to be an A, but I saw that big tear in the seal, so I'm not surprised. So there you have the 9 games that we have to show you guys today. I discussed those 4 already that got rejected. We're going to send them off to VGA, so when they come back, if VGA said the same thing, you know, then we'll just put them on the shelf. We are not going to cut the seals off because, like I said, we did the analysis on the seals, and in our opinion, they are authentic. If VGA doesn't want to grade them, we'll just keep them sealed on the shelf, but I'm very curious to see what they say. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video, and as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.